MCX IPF presents Simplifying Commodities, Futures, Options and Indices.
The term geopolitical events is used broadly to refer to political, economic and social events that influence international relations. Commodity markets react to geopolitical events in different ways, but are primarily influenced by the impact of events on commodity supply chain. Events such as conflicts, trade wars, social unrest and closure of important transport routes may result in difficulties in producing or transporting commodities, and therefore a shortage of supply and an increase in price. Further uncertainty in the market around geopolitical events may create price volatility even where the production and transportation of a commodity has not yet been affected. Geopolitics are always important drivers of commodity prices, and there are plenty of places to keep an eye on these days. Tensions are escalating as Russia troops have amassed on Ukraine border, and US and German diplomats have threatened major economic sanctions that would result from an invasion. Negotiations for the US and Iran to return to the nuclear plan could set stage for incremental oil supplies to be allowed back on the market if the talks progress from here. The ongoing US and China trade dispute is one of the most significant current geopolitical events for the commodity markets. Since 2018, the US and China each have imposed new tariffs on billions of dollars worth of goods produced by the other. The tensions between the US, Saudi Arabia and Iran have intensified as a result of attacks on Saudi Arabia's oil infrastructure, which Saudi Arabia and the US have blamed on Iran. And then the US further ramped up the already tough sanctions it has imposed on Iran. And then the strategic commodity transportation routes such as Strait of Hormuz and the Suez Canal have been stressed in recent past, impacting prices of commodities. And let's not forget China imposing anti-dumping, anti-subsidy duties on Australia. For commodity traders, the impact of geopolitical events can be either positive or negative depending on their particular portfolio. Commodity traders who are involved with the production or transportation of physical commodities may have some different concerns to purely speculative commodity traders. But fluctuating prices will often be a concern for both. Geopolitical risk is hard to define and also hard to measure. An interesting data put out by the World Bank, IMF and the US Geological Survey says that much of the commodity and world natural resources are located in countries generally considered less politically stable. So 40 to 60% of metals come from these countries. Crude oil is known as a political commodity anyways, and the rare earths and metals like lead and tin are seen concentrated in less politically stable countries. More than 80% of global trade and two-thirds of the world population are particularly susceptible to the transmission of global shocks of all kinds, making the importance of understanding, analyzing and hedging quite important.
MCX IPF presents Simplifying Commodities, Futures, Options and Indices.
Brought to you by MCX IPF.